Hi, 你们好. Welcome to my YouTube channel, 山海经. It's Zoe, I'm back. Zhou, my last name, Yi, my first. Today we'll be taking a little break from history. Instead, today's topic is remembering Pye, my beloved cat. This episode is dedicated to my beloved Pye, who I lost recently. He was my closest companion for the past 20 years, as we grew old together since 2005. His full name was Pyewacket, a name I picked up from the 1958 film Bell, Book and Candle, with the enigmatic Kim Novak as a witch and Pyewacket, her witch's cat. Pye brought me such pleasure with his warmth and tender love. He would follow me from room to room, even to the bathroom, sitting on the chair or on the edge of the bathtub, observing my every movement. He would only leave the room once I entered the shower. I guess he did not like the hot, steaming water. He was familiar with all of my daily schedule, when to get up, when to watch television, when to cook and eat, and when to work. In the evening, even before I entered my study, he was already there on his cushion beside the computer to keep me company. I picked him up at San Francisco Animal Care and Control, where there were many irresistibly cute little kittens jumping around in their kennels. And Pye was in a kennel at the far corner of the room, looking tame and quieter. He was a short-haired black cat, 4 months old, the oldest of the kittens there. For superstitious reasons, black cats are still seen by many as evil and bring bad luck. His chances of being adopted were lower than the rest, so I decided to take him home. On the way home, my daughter Tora and I saw a group of goats grazing in the nearby grove. We carried Pye over to watch the goats, believing that would interest him. This was his first encounter with the open world. On the same evening back home, Tora's friend Dana and Saisi came to dinner. Dana, another cat lover, knew cats very well. She played with him with swinging toys to keep him entertained. Then we sat down for dinner at a small round table, paying no more attention to him. In the middle of our dining and chatting, suddenly he jumped onto the table. Miraculously, he landed above Saisi's dinner plate with his forelegs set neatly around her plate without touching the food. It shocked all of us, but I was more amazed by his precision. His ability to jump on a crowded table with a bottle of wine and wine glasses and land himself in the little space without knocking anything off. When praising his dexterity and skill, I carried him off the table and said, "Oh no, this is not allowed. Sorry, I must spank your little piku." Piku means bottom. It horrified Dana, who protested. "Oh no, you can't spank him." "Oh yes, I have to, so he won't do that again." I then spanked his piku, of course very lightly, with 3 loud and firm "no, no, no" in a commanding tone. It worked. He never did that again. Over the years, with my experiences with pets, I've learned that the word no is the first word a pet should learn. It can save their life. It can stop them from entering a dangerous spot or eating anything unsafe. This proved to be true. Days later, I brought him to the yard. Time for him to start outdoor life. Immediately, he was interested in climbing the tree. It came naturally to him, but that caused the birds to fly away. He kept climbing up onto the tree, thinking he could catch them. As he climbed higher and higher, the branches grew thinner. That worried me. I called out aloud and firm, "No!" I was pleased to see that he heeded my warning and stopped instantly. This told me he now had trust in me, knowing that I was there to protect him. Trust is the first and the most essential element in your pet's relationship with you. Then I knew that he had found his home and he would be safe. At the same time, I taught him his name by repeating that to him when I fed him or petted him. To ensure he had learned his name, I played hide and seek with him. I would hide behind doors and call his name for him to find me. He got all excited and was so proud when he found me. I rewarded him with a big, warm hug. After a few games, he could never forget his name. Then I knew that if he were out late, he would answer my call and return home punctually. Pye was a sloppy eater, with food often spilling out of his bowl, and that's unusual for cats. But he was fussy about a clean litter box. He often came to his little box when I happened to be cleaning it. He would watch and wait outside the bathroom door for me to finish cleaning. Head-butting was how he showed me his love. He never disturbed me when I read or worked. In the evening after my dinner, before I had entered my study, he was already there on the chair cushion I had set up for him. In the night, he would wait under the green wool blanket I had laid out for him at the foot of my bed. Once I put down my book, iPhone, or laptop and turned off the light, he knew that I was ready to sleep. He would then join me, and I would flip open my blanket and let him in. Ever since he was young, I had taught him to sleep beside me. Instead of curling up, he would lay his head on the pillow or on my outstretched arm with his back toward me. When he was comfortably settled in, he would bend his head backward toward me, demanding love. I would kiss his forehead and rub my cheek against it in a low, humming tone. Oh, he loved it and always demanded more. I would then hug him while we fell asleep. In the morning, he would wake me up to feed him by jumping on and off me. It never failed. It was always at the same time, a very accurate internal clock. It is important to talk to your pet, as I often talk to Pye, as he sat in front of me on a chair. Sometimes I would tell him that he was spoiled, and to think of all the cats who had no home and no one to love them. He would talk back to me by opening his mouth without sound. It was not a meow. He was trying to speak my language. Whether or not he agreed with what I said, I wanted to believe that he enjoyed our conversations. It made him as happy as he did me. When I went out, he would cry loudly in anger at not seeing me, even when I simply went downstairs to the garage to do laundry. Upon my return, I would call loudly for him. At the moment I stepped into the house, he was already there waiting for me at the top of the stairs. But during our week-long trips, he won't eat for days. And when I returned home, he refused to welcome me, unable to forgive my desertion. During our week-long trip to Shanghai for my father's 120th posthumous birthday, Tora and I left Pye and Belly at the cat hotel. Belly was Tora's cat and Pye's beloved companion. Throughout their long stay there, Pye stayed on top of the cat tree in their room. Only Then when Tora went to pick them up from the cat hotel, the moment Pi saw her, he couldn't wait and jumped onto her shoulder without warning, as if to say, "It's about time. Let's get out of here. Let's go home." Years back, when we were moving house, I had to keep Pi and Belly in a vacant room with their food, water, and litter box, so they won't be disturbed by the moving activities. I brought them to our new premises on the first night we settled in. Belly immediately explored the new house and made it her home. Pi instead hid inside the blanket for 5 days, refused to eat until he was assured that this was my bed and where I would be. As years went on, we both grew into old age. On sunny days, we would spend our afternoons on the deck, with me sitting on the rattan chair, having my lunch and reading and writing a draft of something. Pi would stay in his tent beside me, with half of his tail hanging out. He never looked after his beautiful long tail. Often I had to curl it up around him where he slept. Over the years, I often thought that with us both getting on in age, one of us would go before the other. I just could not bear to think that if I were to go before him, he would cry desperately, thinking I had deserted him, and that he would not live long afterwards, and would depart without me beside him. I told myself, perhaps it would be better for him to go before me. How could I have known that I would cry as much as I thought he would have? It happened on an unforgettable final night, after hours and days of watching and caring for him in bed beside me, with my arm under his head the way he liked. I decided to doze off a bit, knowing he would be too weak to jump on and off the bed, and thinking that he may want to use the litter box. So I thought it would be better to leave him in the tent on the ground. In the middle of the night, it broke my heart to find that with his last effort and strength, he had jumped onto my bed to be with me. He left us an hour later, though he knew he was going to go. He just could not leave without me beside him and had to bid me farewell. And now he's gone. How I miss him. I just cannot bear the thought that he is no longer with me. I just want to hug him tight once more to feel his soft, smooth black hair, with him turning his head and staring at me, as if saying, "I love you too." In remembering Pi, I want to pay tribute to all cats and protest humans' unfair prejudice against them. The common belief is that cats are not like dogs. They are not loyal. Some even doubt whether a cat missed us or not. This is a misjudgment and wrong perception based on unfounded opinions. We humans always judge others by our standards based on how others behave toward us. If cats are not as loyal as dogs to us, then they do not deserve the same respect and love as we have for dogs. It's always we humans who comes before others. In general, all pets love their companions and like to be with people more than being alone. It offers them a sense of security and affection they cherish. Cats are emotionally attached to the ones who care for them and love them. Their attachments are no less than dogs. It's like any other relationship. If there is enough love and care, it can be sustained for life. The main difference between cats and dogs is perhaps that cats are more independent, but only those have the freedom to go in and out of their houses. Poor dogs, they do not have that privilege. They are restrained within the home. Even when out walking, they are on a leash in the name of protecting humans. My life with Pi had led me to conclude why the witches chose to imbue the black cat with magical powers. It was due to their acute sensibility and high intelligence. They make their own choice to love and not. Their independent mind is their privilege and deserves our respect. Pi made his choice to love me as much as my choice to love him. A bond brought both of us love and companionship in our old age. Now he's gone, leaving his cushion beds vacant and the rooms empty. And how I miss him. Pi, this is how I remember you, with all my love. Here's a photo I love. Guess who is on the couch? Thank you for listening and letting me share my grief. See you next time when we'll return to regular programming. Take care, 保重.